tomorrow when they play again against different opponents. We've got games tomorrow from 1, 3, 5, and 7. And again, today, 3 more left coming up. Game following this, I don't see that it's going to start exactly at the scheduled time of 3 o'clock because they've got to have enough time for the teams to warm up. That will feature Central Washington against Azusa Pacific. That's another really good matchup. Again, these teams really well picked this year. Now we've got, and you look at it, you've got Western in on the men's side from the GNAC, Great Northwest Athletic Conference, and then also, or make that on the women's side, and then on the men's side, Central from the GNAC, and of course Seattle Pacific men and women here from GNAC, and then Azusa Pacific, the only school coming in that has both the men and women's teams here. But there's a lot of good connection between Seattle Pacific and Azusa Pacific, which, stay with us, I'll explain that more as we go along throughout the weekend. 27.6 ticks on the clock. Fourth quarter, 75-67. UC San Diego up by 8, trying to run their record to 3-0 on the season and drop Western to 1-2. Missed shot, getting close to pretty much doing it here, and we got a foul, 8-point lead, and foul shots coming up. That's going to be called against Iwami, her 5th, as she has played a great game. Danny Iwami coming through with 15 points, 4 rebounds, couple of assists. Where the only place she struggled offensively is in three-pointers, 1 for 7. Western 4 for 19 in three-pointers. Just taking a look at some of the other numbers while we have a second. We will have a quick sign-off. 26 for 65 overall in field goal. That's not bad. 40%. I mean, it could be better, obviously, but. And from the foul line, 11 for 15. Western's going to bring Molly Olson back into the game. Western with 44 rebounds. Certainly like that field goal percentage to be around 45 to 50%. Who wouldn't? Michaela Williams makes the first foul shot. Great game for her. 19 points. So 23, 36, and 19. That probably could stay there. Western gets the board. Down by 9, 76-67. Outside jumper. Good! Three-pointer. Emma Duff hits her 4th three-pointer of the game. 76-70. Western gets it back. Kelsey Rogers puts it in. What do you know? 76-72. 5.2 seconds left. Not a lot of time, but still pretty exciting game. Draw your own conclusions. Kelsey Rogers, what a game for her. 26 points. 2 in the first quarter, then she's really lit it up in the even number quarters. 10 points in the second. 18 points by the end of the third quarter, so 6 in the third, and then 8 points here in the fourth. She leads all scorers. Kayla Williams, the leading scorer for UC San Diego with 20. As they've been burning through the timeouts. Western has 1 left. UC San Diego with 2 timeouts left here. What a great first game. Got to give Western lots of credit. They have not gone away. Here we go. 4-point lead. San Diego will inbound right down below us. Here is the Tritons ready to go. Four seconds now. Western trying to cause something, and we do have a foul. This time it's going to be Makabuhai getting fouled, and she's going to go to the line. This should put the icing on the cake. They have 77-72 up there. I think they added a point. They recalculated to make it 77-72, and the Western coaches are wondering about that. The foul was against Lexi Bland, her 4th. Probably immaterial. Western will play tomorrow at 1 p.m. against Azusa Pacific. So that lays the foundation for what's coming up for those two teams. Our other foundation to get all set here is the men that are hitting the court right now. They've been waiting in the wings. They'll get started. It will be the Central Washington Wildcats against the Azusa Pacific Cougars coming up on SPU Falcons as the two teams warm up. We'll take a break. Keep your internet tuned to SPU Falcons, and you'll hear me talking here in about 10 to 15 minutes. Thanks for being with us. Mark Ockett signing off for now. I'll be back in just a bit. Well, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon once again. It is game 2 of the Sodexo Tip-Off Classic. This time the men getting after it in college basketball here, as it will be the Azusa Pacific Cougars. They will be the home team, and they're in the white uniforms, against the Central Washington University Wildcats in the black uniforms. Mark Ockett bringing you the action from Royal Brome Pavilion here on the campus of Seattle Pacific University. And the Cougars start things off by winning the tip, and they have the basketball to get underway. These two teams will mix it up with man-to-man defense as well as zones. Central said they'll start out in a zone defense to get things going, and the Wildcats have the basketball after the missed shot by Azusa Pacific. Underneath, good move, but great defense as well. Salome Mawugbe with the defense that time for Azusa Pacific. In our first game of the Tip-Off Classic, UC San Diego with the victory over Western Washington, 76-72 in women's basketball. That was Mawugbe with the basket, 2-0. Central having to deal with that defense clogging the lane right there, and with the rebound coming through will be Darian McLean. Big factor for Azusa Pacific offensively and picking up those boards. Central with the basketball. 18:48 left to go in the first half, and the 2-0 lead for the Cougars. That's going to be a kick and out of bounds. Central will have this one. Second of 4 games today, and then 4 games tomorrow. 4 women's games, 4 men's games to carry you through, and a great sponsor, Sodexo, with the great food services here at Seattle Pacific University and throughout the United States and Canada. Pull-up jumper, that's going to be short. Good follow-up, though. Right underneath there is Gaman Boykin to lay it up and in on the reverse. We are tied at 2 apiece here in the early going. Central Washington University is located approximately 110 miles away from Seattle, over in the town and city called Ellensburg, just off I-90, Interstate 90, as you're heading that direction to the east. Mawugbe with his second basket takes it to 4-2, 2 minutes in. Good drive right there, and Mawugbe blocks it out of there. He's already made his presence known both offensively and defensively, even before that block, as it's knocked out of bounds, last touched by Central. And that last game to get us started here today, UC San Diego got out to a 9-0 lead. Western battled back, closed it to 13-12. Then UC San Diego built up a 27-16 lead before Western went on a 15-3 run and got a 1-point lead. Held on to that back and forth a little bit for a while. Then UC San Diego was able to pull away in the third and fourth quarters to pick up the 4-point victory to improve to 3-0, while Western dropped to 1-2. Drive off the left baseline and lay-in is good by Mendrell Worthy to make it a 6-2 game. Biggest lead of the game for Azusa Pacific. Finds a man and a three-pointer. Perfect execution that time. Malik Montoya buries the three-pointer to make it a 6-5 game. Miss on the other end. Here come the Wildcats. Montoya, pass over on the left side. He finds Poquette. Slowed down some now as the shot clock winds down to 20 seconds. Chance for Central to take the lead. Driving in and missing that time is Montoya. He had the right idea. Just maybe should have used the glass if he could have that time. Here comes Azusa Pacific into front court with the Cougars on their chest. Numbers nice and easy to pick up. Central a little harder with the brick color on the black uniforms, but they do have the white silhouette outline to help us out a little bit there. Out of bounds. 3 minutes, 9 seconds into the first half here. It's a 6-5 ball game. Azusa Pacific by 1 point, but Western will have the ball, and we have some substitutions going right along there. So Central going with the lineup of Jaron Lucas to get it started, the 6'5 junior guard. Also, Gaman Boykin, a junior 6'3 out of Youngstown, Ohio. There's a shot off the left side that is good. Boykin with the hoop. Correction, that's Lucas with the bucket over on the left side. So his first 2 points, 6-7, and we have a 7-6 score right now. The lead for Central Washington. They take the lead for the first time in the game. This game can move so quickly after they were down 6-2. Then a 5-0 run for the Central Washington Wildcats. Now, foul is going to be called against Central. That's going to be against Boykin, his first team foul. Cougars will inbound over on the far side. A few more fans filing in this afternoon. Some people able to come over from Ellensburg to watch the team. We got some former Federal Way Eagle players, actually 3 of them on the roster, 2 of them active in this game. And Federal Way, a perennial power for many years. Out of the South Puget Sound League, now the North Puget Sound League under head coach Jerome Collins. Mawugbe will come out of the lineup. 16-19 left to go in the first half. Mark Ockett bringing you the action on SPUFalcons.com. Got another women's game coming up after this one as Seattle Pacific, the host school, will play. The men's team playing at 7 o'clock. Nice down in the low post. Turnaround jump shot. Good move, but he couldn't get it to drop. That was Matt Poquette. And we got a whistle called. Whistle blown, and it's going to be called against Azusa Pacific. We're going to have immediate timeout on the floor. We'll take a timeout right here. 15:54 left to go in the first half. And Central Washington is leading Azusa Pacific 7-6. This is SPUFalcons.com. After the timeout, 7-6 is the score, and Central has the basketball in front court. They've scored 5 straight points, make it 7 as Jaron Lucas hits his second basket of the game. 9-6, their biggest lead of the game at 3 points. Cougars with the ball in front court. 3-point jumper. That's going to go off there, and the follow-up is good. Connecting that time for his 3rd and 4th points are Mandrell Worthy to make it a 9-8 game. Got a feeling this is going to be tight just like the last one. Azusa Pacific coming in at 2-2 on the season. Central is 1-1. Underneath. Now there's a foul. There's a late whistle on it, but Montoya is going to have a couple of shots coming up. 30 seconds on the shot clock for the men here too, just like the women. That foul is going to be called against Azusa Pacific. Foul goes against Talfa Hema, and that is his first foul, 3rd team foul. Connecting on the foul shot will be Malik Montoya. Teams mixing it up with players there coming in and out of the lineup. Next one for a chance for Central to take a 3-point lead, and they do. So Montoya now with 5 points. That's their first trip to the foul line. In fact, First trip for either team, almost 5 minutes into the first half. Cougars will inbound and come the other direction as they go actually in this building from east to west, left to right on your screen. Driving through Worthy. Worthy looking inside, and that one is going to be a miss. Underneath, Canseo. Central gets it back. Chance to get their biggest lead of the game, up by 3 right now. Working it into the lane, turn around, good move. Just off the right side of the iron. Good, strong battle for the rebound. That is Boykin. Now Lucas driving in, pull up on the fade. Yes! He's got it. 6 points for Jaron Lucas. And Lucas with 23 points in the first 2 games for Central. A foul is going to be called against the Wildcats in backcourt. That one goes against Marcus Austin, freshman. Team foul number 2. No shots. It'll be an opportunity for the Cougars to inbound in backcourt. 13-8, 5-point lead, biggest of the game for either team. And that belongs to the Central Washington Wildcats of the Great Northwest Athletic Conference. We have a couple of men's teams from GNAC here in this tournament, or invitational. That one goes out of bounds. Seattle Pacific also from GNAC, and so is Central. Both teams' original members going back to 2001 when the GNAC was created. Great conference. I'm involved in announcing several sports here at Seattle Pacific, and the Great Northwest Athletic Conference truly covers the Great Northwest. Got 2 schools up in Alaska, Alaska Anchorage and Alaska Fairbanks. We got this one going the other direction. That's going to be a foul offensive against Gamon Boykin. That's his 2nd foul. Team foul number 3. Got to watch out there. Cougars with the basketball in the 5-point deficit. Keep in mind, they got off to a 6-2 start. Central's outscored them 11-2 since that time. Over on the left side. Will Ferris, a local product, hitting that 3-pointer. He went to Newport High School over in Bellevue. The Knights. Ferris again for 2. Will Ferris with 5 quick points, and it's 13-12. Now let's make that a 2-pointer on the left side on that previous one. So 13-12 as he's hit 2 2-pointers. An outside jump shot and a little bit closer in with the mid-range. Intercepted. Here comes the Cougars again. Ferris down low, a little too far underneath. Wisely works out of it and then passes towards the middle, and a soft touch, little teardrop right there. Popping it in there is Darian McLean. Makes it 14-13 as the lead switches hands. Goes back in favor of Azusa Pacific. 12:44 left. First half, it is Azusa Pacific 14, Central Washington 13, SPUFalcons.com. Time to get back after it here. 12:44 left to go in the first half. Azusa Pacific leading 14-13 as they got some spring in their step. 6 straight points coming through for the Cougars from Azusa, California. Back up on top. Wildcats with the ball, shut off some defensively. A good ball movement around to the right side, right corner. And a 3-pointer is good. Count that one for Nigel Carter. 16-14, lead switching hands for the third time. 2-point lead coming up on 12 minutes to go in the first half. That was a nice look, but he just couldn't quite get that one to drop. Taking the shot that time. Soft touch. Excellent delivery and the stroke by Marcus Austin as he gets the two-pointer and a 4-point lead, 18-14. Cougars with the ball. There's Will Ferris, drops it off over on the left side. And a three-pointer is good. Burying that one down is Ben Avera. 18-17, 1-point lead for Central. Not much rotation on that one as it comes out of there. Ferris will pull down the rebound. Here he comes. Bounce pass, that one errant, goes out of bounds, and the player for the Cougars not happy with himself on that pass right there, Ben Avera. We have a timeout on the floor. 11-17 left to go in the first half, and our score is Central Washington 18, Azusa Pacific 17. This is SPUFalcons.com. Well, timeout called with the media timeout. Clock at 11:17 left to go in the first half. We switch back and forth between quarters for the women at 10 minutes quarters. And for the men, still with the halves. I like the quarters personally. I really enjoy it. And that came in the 2015-2016 season for the women. I also do announcing for the University of Washington. I do public address for the Washington Husky women's basketball team as well as Seattle University women's basketball. And I really enjoy the quarters, and I do fill in here for basketball and webcasts. And I really have enjoyed the quarters. And I did an NIT Washington men's game last year where they experimented with quarters. And I think it's going to come to that at some point. But men's college basketball, the only one I can recall or think of that is actually using the half system. It kind of seems outdated. Underneath, making the basket is Garrett Beetstra. He gets his name in the book for the first time, and it's a 19-18 lead for Azusa Pacific. Central throws it out of bounds, and the Cougars will get the ball back with 10:45 left to go in the first half. Cougars got out to a 6-2 lead. Western has been up as much as 5 at 13-8. And carrying the basketball is Terrence Beckvar, sophomore guard in the game, and he gets whistled for the turnover. Matt Poquette ready to inbound front court for Central as they try to regain the lead here in the first half. So far, Central's hit a couple of three balls. Trying to work it inside. You like that pass, and there it is. Oh, there's a foul, too. Coming through with the hack that time is Salam Mawugbe. That would be his first foul. Actually, they had him for one earlier. Second foul, third team foul. At the foul line is Malcolm Cola for the Central Washington Wildcats. He's a guy that'll put some points on the board. Makes the foul shot to tie us up. 19-19. In his first 2 games, Cola has scored 57 points. Next one on the way. Down it goes. Cola's first 2 points of the game, the leading scorer for Central is Malik Montoya with 5 points. Cougars in the front court now. Back up top they go. Beatstra. Over on the left wing, make that right wing missing on the shot will be Beatstra, and here comes Central the other direction, up by 1 point. Throwing away, had some turnovers here in the last couple of minutes. That's a 3-point basket. Will Ferris connects again. That's a great shot for him to give him 7 points, his first 3-pointer in the game. The first one he hit, I had to get some clarification on that. It's over in the far left corner, which is kind of hard to see from this vantage point. They said he was just inside the line, so on this one he does get the 3-pointer. That's going to be a foul against the Cougars with 9:32 left to go in the first half. Cougar foul is going to be on Ferris, his first. That's the 5th team foul against the Cougars. Inbound pass coming up. And, well, Central has a tough time with that. They've thrown it away a couple of times here in the past few minutes. Those things add up and make a difference as you go along through the game. Cougars to inbound. Here they come the other direction. And right up the middle is Darren McLean. Looking for a seam, looking for an opportunity. Now passes it over on the left side. Worthy, pull-up jumper, soft touch. There it goes. Drains it in there. 24-20. Cougars equal the biggest lead of the game, and they're on a 5-0 run. Wide open shot. Couldn't get that thing to drop. And it's going to go out of bounds. Last touched by Azusa Pacific. Central will maintain possession just a tick under 9 minutes to go and down by the 4 points. Wildcats looking inside. There it is. Jonathan Davis. Make that Matt Poquette. Make sure I'm on the right side here. Matt Poquette with the basket. That's a good step-in move right there on the left baseline to take that pass and pop it in off the inbound. Matt Poquette now is going to get a foul on the other direction. That will be his first foul, 4th team foul. Azusa Pacific will inbound. Looking around. Back up top. And a pull-up jumper is going to be a good one for Garrett Beatstra. Thought he grabbed it there. So a 2-point basket. And the other end, Central Washington. There they go, tying it up. That is Matt Poquette. 24-24. Tied at 24. We're going to take a quick break right here. Technical issue. Okay, welcome back. 26-24 is the score. And a basket for Azusa Pacific. We just had to take care of something here. 28-24 now as Azusa Pacific has a 4-point lead, equaling their biggest lead of the game. We'll take a timeout, catch up on the point totals as we had to switch some things around there. We'll be right back here with more on, actually, I got to do that right now. You know what? I'll keep it right here. So let's take a look at how things are going point-wise. For Central Washington, Jaron Lucas has 6 points. 2 points for Gaman Boykin. Also 2 points for Malcolm Cola, both from the foul line. Malik Montoya with 5. 4 points for Matt Poquette. 2 points for Marcus Austin. And then over on the other side, 2 points for Darian McLean. No, now they give him 4, so 4 points. Also, Worthy has 6. Mawugbe with 4 points. 9 points for Will Ferris. So they do credit him with that 3-pointer earlier. She's gone back and forth on that. That's why it's sitting at 28-24, and Avera with 3 points. Breaking things down on a shooting perspective, Central Washington, 9 for 21, 43%. 2 for 5 in 3-pointers. And from the foul line there are 4 for 4. For Azusa Pacific, 13 for 24 in field goals, 54%. 3-pointers, 2 for 7. And they have not attempted a foul shot as of yet. Central Washington with 12 rebounds and 8 points for Azusa Pacific. So the leading scorer for both teams is Bellevue Washington's Newport's High School's Will Ferris. 28-24 ball game with the media timeout, 7:20 to go in the first half. And Central will inbound. I think we got you all caught up now, and hopefully everything rolls right along here. Central with the basketball. Jackson Price handling it. He started the game underneath on the back door right there. Beautiful play. Basket and a foul. Getting in the basket is Cola, and he's got a shot coming up off the pass from Poquette. That foul is going to be on Darian McLean, his first, 6th team foul. At the foul line is Cola. With the foul shot, it is good. 28-27, they cut it to a 1-point deficit. Already in this game, we've had a couple of ties, and the lead has switched hands 6 times. Azusa Pacific with the ball. That's Avera. Underneath. Step-in move is good. Jonathan Davis gets the basket. 3-point lead for the Cougars. Now, like the first game, the women's game, it has been a tight one. And that makes it great. Fun for the players to match up like this, and then the fans enjoying it as well. Almost a foul in there, but no. They don't blow the whistle. A missed shot. It's going to come out up top. Man-to-man defense down low on the left side. Azusa Pacific foul against Darian McLean. That'll be his 2nd foul, 7th team foul. And draw Worthy back into the contest. Matt Poquette is at the foul line. He has not attempted a foul shot as of yet. Central is 5 for 5 from the line. They have 8 turnovers, 4 turnovers for Azusa Pacific. Poquette not able to connect. Excellent positioning down underneath. Tyson Canseo gets it, builds it up to a 5-point lead at 32-27. Biggest lead of the game for the Cougars. Wildcats looking to go inside, over off the left post. Turnaround jumper rattles out of there. Man, that was deep in there pretty well, but it didn't fall in. Avera gets the rebound, and here comes the Cougars the other direction. Avera ends up with the ball. Bounce pass. And stolen away. That was one that was right in the path of Montoya. Reversal! What a great looking move that time. He goes coast to coast. Now 7 points for Montoya and a 3-point lead for the Cougars of Azusa Pacific. Near steal again that time. Montoya doing a good job out there. Following up is Rivera. He's got his 4th and 5th points, back to a 5-point lead. Coming up on 5 minutes to go in the first half. Driving the other direction, 360 and a step-in move by Jackson Price. Price has his first 2 points of the game, and it's 34-31. Central now at 46% in shooting, 12 for 26. And Azusa Pacific is at 16 for 28, 57%. That's smoking hot right there. Now taking it to the basket will be Davis. He's going to draw the foul on the double team. And Central player getting up off his feet that time. That is Cola, who's going to be called for the foul. He was in the air, and at that point Davis was in command of the situation, as Davis will go to the foul line. He'll have 2 shots. Davis has a field goal so far in the first half, and the first shot is good. Will Ferris will come back into the lineup for the Cougars. One of the players that is injured and not able to play is a local player. Actually was hoping to see him get some action out there, and it's a local famous name, and that is the Bundrents. Noah Bundrent from Kings High School, just up the road in the Shoreline area. But that family name is very famous and very valuable to the seafood industry. They've been pioneers. Chuck Bundrent, his grandfather, who co-founded Trident Seafoods with Kari Ness, who passed away a couple years ago. They're all from this area here in Ballard. There's a soft touch jumper by Lucas. That is good, 36-33. And the other way, Worthy coming through. He's got 8 points, back to a 5-point lead, 38-33. Yeah, Trident Seafoods has a huge presence here right behind us out at Fisherman's Terminal and their processing plants. But Noah Bundrent of Azusa Pacific, his grandfather, a big, big factor in the seafood industry. You sit down to your table and have seafood, there's a great chance it started out being caught by Trident Seafoods and processed by them. They are just huge pioneers in that industry in Alaska. (38-33) it stays. 3:48 left to go, and a beautiful three-pointer launched over on the left side. Jonathan Davis buries that one. He's got 7 points. 8-point lead, 41-33. Cougars getting it done so far here right now. Davis with the pick. He's going to come out of backcourt. Leaves it. There's Will Ferris. Azusa Pacific, the only school bringing 2 teams, both the women and the men, into the Sodexo Tip-Off Classic. There's a 3-ball. Mandrell Worthy, he's having a big half. 11 points for him. The junior. Good guy to have this year and next year. Soft touch by Lucas. He's also having a good half. Lucas with a total of 10 points in the game. 44-35, so it was up to an 11-point lead. Now cut to single digits. Pull-up jumper. Oh, my. Worthy again. He has just got his stroke going. Back to an 11-point lead. 46-35. 2:27 to go in the first half. In the second game of our 4-pole header. We got a timeout on the floor as that goes out of bounds. I think it's just an inbound play after the media timeout. 2:24 left to go. First half here at Seattle Pacific University Royal Brome Pavilion in beautiful Seattle, Washington, and our score is Azusa Pacific 46, Central Washington 35. You are viewing and listening on SPUFalcons.com. We're back live at Royal Brome Pavilion, home of the Seattle Pacific University Falcons. I'm Mark Ockett, bringing you the action on SPUFalcons.com. And the Azusa Pacific Cougars have opened up an 11-point lead on the Central Washington Wildcats. This one was a close game, and then Azusa Pacific finding their groove. 3-point jumper. Nothing but twine on that one. Malik Montoya with his second three ball of the half. And it cuts it down to an 8-point lead. Montoya now with 10 points in the contest. He and Jaron Lucas tied for the team lead with Central Washington, each with 10. Will Ferris. Davis back to Ferris. Good move. Stepping in. Pull-up jumper. Yeah. No, he didn't get it. From my angle, it almost looked like it went in. Central going the other way. 1:45 to go in the first half. Lucas misses that one, just rimming out of there. And the Cougars will go the other direction. Ferris, Worthy, and McLean all tied with 3 rebounds to lead Azusa Pacific. They have 13 and 15 for Central Washington. Cola and Lucas each have 3 boards. That's out of bounds. Ferris will inbound. Ferris, a smart ball player out there, I'll tell you. Just watching some of his cuts, he's sneaky quick. All of a sudden, he's just there in the mix. And you see him very much involved in what's going on out there. Does those little things that make a difference. Over on the far left side, they're trying to work it inside. That's Azusa Pacific. Soft touch, there it is. Good move. Garrett Beechstra, he's now got 4 points. 10-point lead at 48-38 with 1:14 to go here in the first half. Looking for a little help, coming up on a minute to go. 25 on 25 right there, and the strong defense by Jonathan Davis. Pull-up jumper off the left side, way off the mark. That's going to go out of bounds, and with 52 seconds left in the first half, it's an opportunity for the Cougars to get a 12 or 13-point lead. Their biggest lead has been 11 points. We got a timeout called by Azusa Pacific. Might as well keep it right here. At halftime, we'll just go quiet for about 15 minutes. I'll give you some numbers right now as to where everything's sitting. Central Washington is 15 for 32 from the field, 47%. 3 for 7 and three-pointers, 43%. 5 for 6 from the foul line. They've got 15 rebounds, 5 assists, and 10 turnovers. On the other side of the ledger, Azusa Pacific, 21 for 35, 60%. In three-pointers, they are 4 for 11, 2 for 2 from the foul line, 14 rebounds, 9 assists, and they have 5 turnovers. So half as many turnovers as Central Washington, and that can make a difference right there. And you look at things as being a 10-point difference, well, 5 turnovers can account for 10 points. So that's something that Central's going to have to get under control. There's just been a couple of times where they've gone to pass. And again, keep in mind, this is early in the season. So these teams are still working on getting in sync. And you know Central is going to always be a tough program to deal with. In front court, Cougars with the basketball. Turnaround jumpers. Again, Beechstra just excellent with the mid-range jumper. Such a lost art so often in basketball. Everybody thinks they got to fire the 3-ball or go inside. No, back out 12 to 15 feet and shoot those mid-range jumpers and throw the opposition off. It's a 12-point lead, 50 to 38. 16 seconds to go. About a 2-second differential on the shot and quarter clock. Now down to 8 on the shot clock. Back up top. Looks on the mark from here. Yep, straight in front of me. That's Montoya with his third three-pointer of the half, 50-41. At the buzzer, count it. Count it. They're going to check for sure. Looked like he had that out of his hand. I think they're going to review it. I think they have to review it. Wow, that was a great shot to finish the half. The teams are going to go into the locker room, and the officials will look it over. It's sitting at 50 to 41. I'm just going to keep it here because I want to let you know what it's going to be. But I thought that shot was released. And so the referees are going to review the video at center court, and we'll get a judgment coming up here in the second game of our doubleheader of the Sodexo Tip-Off Classic. Again, to give you some information on Sodexo. What is Sodexo, you ask? Well, they're a great part of what we have going on here at Seattle Pacific University. Sodexo is a leading provider of integrated food, facilities management, and other services that enhance organizational performance in the public or private sector and improve the quality of life daily in North America. They employ a lot of people, 150,000 people at 13,000 sites in all 50 U.S. states and Canada. And they're the longtime food and concession provider here at Seattle Pacific University, annual sponsor of the Sodexo Tip-Off Classic, and they have other locations around the area. I know they have an excellent brunch over at Covenant Shores on nearby Mercer Island, which is where I've been a few times. They're still looking things over here. We'll give them just a little bit of time. But the start of this game saw Azusa Pacific get off to a 6-2 lead. Then Central Washington went right at it, and they got up to a 13-8 lead before Azusa Pacific went on a 6-0 run. I welcome you back. We welcome you back. We are here at Seattle Pacific University, Royal Brome Pavilion, home of the Seattle Pacific University Falcons, hosts of the 2018 Sodexo Tip-Off Classic. I'm Mark Ockett bringing you the action on SPUFalcons.com, and our score at halftime in the second game of the 8-game Sodexo Classic, our second of 4 games today, is Azusa Pacific University Cougars 50, Central Washington University Wildcats 41. Now, breaking things down further, as far as points are concerned, the leading scorer for Central Washington is Malik Montoya. He has 14 points. Jaron Lucas, their second leading scorer, with 10 points. On the other side, Medrell Worthy with a very strong first half for Azusa Pacific, 13 points for him, and Will Ferris, a local product out of Newport High School in Bellevue, coming through with a total of 9 points. So these teams matching up and looking at the field goal percentage. Central Washington at 16 for 33, 48.5%, 4 for 8 in three-pointers, 5 for 6 from the foul line, 15 rebounds, 10 turnovers. Azusa Pacific, 22 for 36 in field goal shootings. That is a robust 61%. 4 for 11 in three-pointers, just 2 for 2 from the line, 14 rebounds, 10 assists, and they had just 5 turnovers. And that is a big one right there. Now, here's where Azusa Pacific has also come through in a big way. In the paint, they are outscoring Central Washington 30-12. They also have a couple of blocked shots, none for Central Washington, and it's a case where Azusa Pacific got a 6-2 lead. Yeah, again, early going, and then Central came back, got rolling, and went on a really good 11-2 run to get it up to 13-8. Then Azusa Pacific coming through with 6 points and went back and forth a little bit before the Cougars really found their footing and got going and got it up to an 11-point lead on more than one occasion there in that first half, and it's at 9 right now. In the first game of the day, the Western Washington Vikings from up the road in Bellingham in a great battle against a very strong, just like Western, UC San Diego team, and the Tritons took down the Vikings by a score of 76-72. Seattle Pacific will be playing coming up next in women's basketball, and then the Seattle Pacific men will be going after that. So the host team's playing at 5 and 7 today, and again tomorrow. We have 4 games for you coming up tomorrow. The Cougars are on the court. Central Washington is getting ready to go. And again, we thank you very much for being with us here on SPUFalcons.com. I'm here for these 2 games. And I got to zip about 3 miles away over to the University of Washington, where I'm going to be announcing the Washington Huskies volleyball game against California. Huskies ranked 20th in the country. That's another one of my very enjoyable gigs, just like working here at Seattle Pacific. The proximity of the two is quite nice, quite nice. Love these days going back and forth. Central with the basketball, and they're going from left to right on your screen, east to west in Royal Brome Pavilion underneath. That's going to bounce around and finally go out of bounds. 50-41 the score, and it'll go the other direction. Coming out of backcourt, Darian McLean. He had 4 points in the first half. Also 7 points in that first half for Jonathan Davis. He really was a factor late in the second half. Foul is going to go against Malcolm Cola, his second first team foul. It'll be out of bounds. Cougars will inbound on the right baseline. No shots on this one. 30 seconds up on the shot clock. Everybody set? Everybody ready? It's time to go. Deflected. Good D right there. Boykin getting after it, helping out. And a foul is going to be called going the other direction. That is going to be against Darian McLean. Keep an eye on that. He's out there as a big factor for the Cougars. That's his 3rd foul, first team foul. No shots on that one either. It's going to be Central Washington basketball in front court. Up high, Jaron Lucas with the ball. Swings it to Boykin, takes it in, dumps off a pass underneath. Oh, tough miss. That's Kola. 5 points in the game, couldn't get it to drop. And the Cougars will go and try it on their end. Left with the ball is Worthy. Right, great first half of those 13 points. Ferris is able to find Mawugbe, and that's his 5th and 6th points of the game, up to an 11-point lead, 52-41, equaling the biggest lead of the game for the Cougars of Azusa Pacific. Outside the arc, Central need to start putting things together here, and inside it hasn't been working too well. Finally, it looks like it's going to. That is Kola, drops it in there, count the basket, and one. The foul is going to be called against Mawugbe. That is his 3rd foul, team foul number 2, so he's going to have a seat on the bench. Kola is going to be heading to the foul line, and he will have the one shot to try to complete the 3-point play. Now this is where the Falcons, or make that the Wildcats, I see a Falcon player down below going by as they're getting ready to play in that next game. But that's a miss right there, and that was a great opportunity. However, they get the rebound and will come out up top just a little bit short. Couple of pops at it, not going to work out. Beachstra stays and wins the battle. Over to McLean. McLean with the basketball, almost 2 minutes into the second half, and a 9-point lead for Azusa Pacific. Near midcourt, almost went across. Will Farrell, Beachstra, rattles out. And Montoya with the 13 points, trying to do some magic. Dumps it off. Jaron Lucas. Central just missing on these inside shots. And there will be a foul coming up. That foul is going to go against Will Ferris, his 2nd. Team foul number 3. Kola's going to go to the foul line. Kola with 7 points in the game. He is 3 for 3 from the foul line. Gets that one to pop in there. Now a perfect 4 for 4. Central 6 for 8 from the foul line. 6 for 9. 52-44, 8-point lead for the Cougars. Into front court they go. The quick Will Ferris looking inside. Popping out is McLean, taking it in. Oh, a bounce pass inside. Lots of traffic in there, and it's broken up. Here comes Boykin, and that's going to be good. 6-point lead for Azusa Pacific as Central is clawing back into this one. Wildcats trying to get it done. Trying to make a comeback underneath. Ferris with a great pass in there to Worthy. That was teamwork right there. Ferris knew where he was. Worthy broke in, and Worthy also worked hard to get that basket. He didn't let up. 8-point lead. Beachstra is going to be called for the foul, his first. 4th team foul. Keep an eye on that. Just 1 foul against Central so far. So Azusa Pacific starting to stack them up a little bit. Looking at individual fouls, McLean has 3. Mawugbe with 3 fouls, 2 for Ferris, 1 for Beachstra, and 1 for Tafahima. The players on the floor, looks like a possession arrow on the held ball is going to decide who has the ball, and that will go to Azusa Pacific, up by 8 points, 54-46. Had the halftime lead of 50-41. They come in at 50 and 41. I tell you, a number of schools have had to deal with, and the sad, tragic situation going on with the wildfires in California, and it's just been a very rough situation all around for the people down there, no doubt about that. Worthy connects on a 3-pointer. He's got 5 in the half, 18 in the game, and it's back to an 11-point lead, 57-46. Closing in on the media timeout time with 16:08 to go in the second half. Central with some sharp defense there, but it's just ended up being knocked out of bounds, and Azusa Pacific will have the basketball. Worthy to inbound. Terrence Beckvar, who saw a little bit of action in that first half, will look to be the recipient of the inbound pass as Central makes a couple of substitutions. Lucas and Cola going to get a breather right here, and then the timeout will be coming up, so they'll get a fresh set of legs to come out there in a few minutes. Taking it straight down the middle is Beckvar. Oh, he ends up losing the dribble. And a grab. That's what caused it. Foul's going to be called against Zelly Hudson, his second team foul. And right at 16 minutes, an 11-point lead. Azusa Pacific looking to build on that. Central clogging it up. Man-to-man, there's Worthy off the right side of the rim. Central gets the board. Here they come the other way. Malik with the pass. Uh-oh, look out for the foul one way or another. Did he have position underneath? Yep, he did. That's what I'm thinking. And that's going to be an offensive foul called against Central Washington. That one's going to be on Poquette, his third team foul. Now we do have the timeout on the floor. 15:42 left. Second half action in the Sodexo Tip-Off Classic here at Seattle Pacific University. Royal Brome Pavilion, Seattle, Washington, an 11-point lead for Azusa Pacific, up 57-46 with 15:42 left in the second half. We'll be back with more here on SPUFalcons.com. Ready to go once again. 57-46 the score. Azusa Pacific up by 11, and they have the rock. Coming into front court now, Terrence Beckvar. Over on the far right side. Trying to go inside, and good job by Central to shut him down. Wildcats got to make it happen. Clock working its way down. Still lots of time, but it creeps up on you in a hurry. There's no doubt about that. 15-10 to go in the second half, but suddenly that'll get down to 10 minutes and 5 and so forth. Missed shot, and again, a chance for Azusa Pacific, but they are going to lose the basketball. It's going to be Central ball as they'll go back the other direction. Cougars will sub in Ben Avera, who had 3 points in the first half, will come in. Taking a peek at the shooting, Azusa Pacific at a still very respectable 59.5% at 25 for 42. Central 18 for 41, 44%. 4 for 9 and 3-pointers, and the Cougars are 5 for 14. Another miss inside. So many of those. I bet they've missed about 8 of them down low inside, perhaps 10 in this second half, and that makes a huge difference in the ball game as we have a whistle and we have a foul on the court. That's going to go against the Cougars. Foul is on Terrence Beckvar, his fifth team foul. 3 team fouls for Central. Hitting the deck that time after releasing the shot is Jackson Price. I think he's going to have 3 shots coming up. Let's check for sure, but it looked like the official said 3. And the foul is going to be called against Beckvar, his second, 6th team foul. 3 shots, that's right, coming up. First one is good. Here's an opportunity for Price to help get Central back into this game. This is the second one. Well, at least he can try to get 2 out of 3 and cut the lead for Azusa Pacific to single digits. He does so. 4 points. He's 2 for 3 from the line overall. 14:42 to go in the second half. 57-48. Azusa Pacific up by 9 points over Central Washington. Inside, down on the right block. Doesn't work out that time for Tyson Canseo. Central will go the other way. And we got a foul, a little tight on that. Tight, kind of a little sloppy on the defense that time. The foul going on against Azusa Pacific. Benavera with his first foul. That's team foul number 7. We got 1-1 coming up, so it puts the Central Washington Wildcats at the foul line for the rest of the half. You hit 10, you're a double bonus. That's 2 shots the rest of the way. Now it's with a shooting foul, you'd get 2 shots. Another great opportunity to have Central close the gap. Shot is good. Just taking a look at these 2 teams as far as some background is concerned. The head coach for Central Washington, Brandon Rinta, in his first season with the Wildcats, and he comes from Lewis Clark State, an NAIA school, is there with the Warriors. Both shots good. 57-50. Pull-up jumper, and McLean just kept working his way in there. Makes it a 9-point lead for Azusa Pacific. Darian McLean now with 6 points in the game. Mandrell Worthy, the leading scorer for the Cougars with 18. Oh, reverse. Lucas gets it done. 12 points for him, his first 2 of the second half. Back to a 7-point lead now. Ferris with the basketball. Ferris good at passing and finding players underneath, but we got a foul away from the ball. That foul is going to go on Lewis Pope of Central Washington, just into the game, a freshman. His first 4th team foul. Long 3 ball. That was well past even the NBA. And that's going to be a miss, but we have a foul on the follow-through. That'll take Central up to 5 fouls. That foul is going to go against Zelly Hudson, his second, both here in the second half. Shooting, no, I thought they said they were going to have shots, but they're going to go ahead and have them go out of bounds. They made a change on that. Cougars to inbound. And into backcourt, chasing it down is McLean. Long 3 ball on the other side. Rims out on that one. A little closer that time. Saved, but it's going to go back to Azusa Pacific. Here they come. Farrell to McLean. Doesn't get that one. 3 decent, well, especially the last 2 looks in a row. And picking it and going the other direction is Malik Montoya. His first 2 of the second half. Cuts the gap to 5 points. 59-54, 13:08 to go in the second half. Now it's getting a little more interesting.